You are watching In the Loop. Target admitted in a statement that it failed to act on early warnings of a cyber breach. That was a story that we brought you yesterday. Well, Bloomberg Businessweek had detailed the events leading up to the attack after an investigation found that Target had the right safeguards in place but missed their own warning signs for up to 2 weeks. Well, joining us now is James Foster, founder and CEO of ZeroFOX, a next-generation cybersecurity firm that provides social threat intelligence to corporate and government clients. Foster, great to have you on the program with us. You read through this article as well, and I'm curious to know, being that you work with many companies such as Target, are you surprised that they were essentially, as we described in this article, asleep at the wheel for almost 2 weeks here?
They're in a really tough spot right now. No, I'm not surprised. I think that they put a lot of the right pieces of the puzzle into place. You know, if you read the article and you understand some of the things that they did, by anybody's circumstances, they would have had a world-class security defense posture as an organization. They bought disruptive new technologies. They had teams around the world looking at this stuff 24/7. By all means, there are things that any organization can do better, but they were doing a pretty good job. The challenge that Target and everybody else has right now is that the organizations attacking them are persistent, and they're not going to give up. And it's a really tough spot for corporate America to be in right now.
But why? I mean, exactly. Explain that to me. Why? I mean, we know that they're consistent. I mean, I'm assuming that's why you put in those systems in place. So why is that a vulnerability?
Because the adversary, the size and the complexity of the adversary. If a hacker were coming after you, whether that hacker was, you know, a single person sitting across the other side of the world, that's one thing. But when you have foreign government actors that are in here with huge amounts of resources going after U.S. companies and corporations, it's a much different battle that you have as an organization. I call cyber warfare now the new economic warfare. It's a big challenge. And if you look at how this has impacted Target, they cost $61 million in Q4. It was the lowest earnings they've had in, what, 6 years as an organization. Security now should be done at the board level, not within a department within IT. But,
you know, what I thought was really interesting, though, Foster, is how you know, how much these hackers are I mean, and in fact, this article really uncovered it well. The hackers that seem to have targeted Target were not all that sophisticated, and there's one in particular called Rescator, by the codename Rescator, who was very sloppy in some of his you know, some of what he did, and he basically identified himself to authorities. So what's going on that end there, and why isn't there better surveillance or intelligence on the other side with you know, with foreign governments and how they're monitoring the hackers?
Yeah, I heard a couple of things in there. I mean, you're right. Like, some of the attacks, when you look at the end of the day, it's like, oh, you know, it's common. It should have been easy to catch. You had systems that were identifying it.
Right.
I think one of the challenges, not just defending, you know, Target, but every organization that's out there, is sheer volume, right? Can one or two things slip through the cracks on a daily basis, weekly, monthly? Absolutely. But if you're stopping 99.9% of all the other attacks or getting close to Six Sigma, it's really difficult to try to say you've done everything that you can, and risk is now zero. I mean, this is part of a risk management plan. And, you know, at the end of the day, when you talk about risk management, you don't get risk to zero. You get it down to under 1%. And guess what? If you're getting hit hundreds of thousands of times in a day, that means you're going to have something come through every day. But you're right. It's a tough place to be in.
Foster, before I let you go, though, I mean, what came out in this article was that retailers are not that good compared to other companies in detecting cyber attacks, and they're behind in terms of putting those security systems in place. So is it just retailers, or who else is not as prepared?
No, that's a great point. I mean, I think financial services in general has done a really good job in terms of industry sector to kind of coalesce together to try to fight this battle. I think you're going to see and need more industry partnerships. You're going to need more people that are fighting the same battle, retailers sticking together, technology companies sticking together, and figuring out how to work together as a collective group to fight this challenge as opposed to trying to fight this individually. And I think retailers are in a difficult space right now. I mean, they're going through a transition as an industry, and I think you'll start to see that organizations that are particularly that have particularly tough roads ahead in terms of resources and dollars are going to have an even tougher road ahead, staying ahead of the cybersecurity challenge.
All right, James Foster, thank you so much for joining us, the founder and CEO
Thanks, Betty. Have a great day.
of ZeroFOX. You too. And we'll be back in 2 minutes on In the Loop.